Alright, it's become down to this. 3 drivers, 65 points, 2 races left. Who is going to choke first? Or as I like to call, who is going to survive the Valley of the Sun today in the running of the Kobalt Tools 500 for race 35 and 36, chase race number 9. It is the one race where it can make your championship hopes or it can break them. We're going to be going to Phoenix, boys. Like that, anything?
No. Hope we win.
So we're going to do 16 laps, tire wear, double, same crap as the spring race. Jeff Burton is the provisional pole for the Kobalt Tools 500. Let's fire it up. If you remember back in the spring, we dominated the event, leading every lap. Very similar to Kyle Busch's Xfinity dominance, where he leads basically 99% of the races, and very rarely leaves other drivers to lead unless he's not there. And even then, the Joe Gibbs cars kill him in the Xfinity series. It's usually either Eric Jones or Daniel Suarez, both of which are actually pretty good drivers.
You have to bob your head every time you put the card.
It just show how boring it is. So, 2 laps, the daytime Phoenix race, so lights are not turned on, and we got to beat the time of 29.83, set by Jeff Burton.
This is a dirt track.
It's the way the track was laid out back then.
Dirt.
It's the way the game renders it.
I know, but it looks like concrete.
Yeah, I know.
Dirt, but it acts like concrete.
Coming to the start-finish line. Let's begin our lap.
We do 2 laps this time.
If I get the pole, what's the point of doing a second lap? Coming through the dog leg and then the quad oval. One thing I probably brought up a lot in the spring race is turns 1 and 2 just feel weird. It's basically a case of progressive banking, you know? You go in the corner, there's flat, as I'm going to show right here. You got flat, and then apron, and then in 3 and 4, it's just straight up apron. It's weird. And by the way, you cannot recommend that you cut through the grass, but what can you do sometimes? Coming out of turn 4, we are going to complete our lap with a time of 28.59. We win the pole for the Kobalt Tools 500, but can we sweep the Phoenix races this season?
That was a long thing. Did you take the whole thing?
Yeah,
Did you take 2 laps?
Yeah, I did the 2 laps.
I was like, dude, that's a long course.
The laps only take 28 seconds. When they reconfigured it, it's a little longer, but yeah, the dog leg you can run through. It was extra part of the track you can use.
The what?
The dog leg, the part of the corner on the backstretch.
The dog leg? Why do you name it the dog leg?
Because it looks like a dog's leg.
No, it doesn't. It looks like a loop. It's like,
so, anyways, Mark Martin and Jeff Burton are on the front row. The front 2 championship rivals. Row 2 finds Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, the inseparable overpowered brothers. Row 3 finds Hendrick teammates Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. Row 4 finds Kevin Harvick and David Rudiman. And rounding out the top 10 finds Juan Montoya and Clint Boyer. Anyways, let's give it up to PRN's Doug Rice and Mark Garrow. Brett.
Why am I saying this on camera?
NASCAR's best are about to take a ride in the Arizona desert. It's time to cowboy up here at the Phoenix International Raceway. I'm Mark Carroll with Doug Rice.
In 2009, Mark Martin became the oldest driver ever to lasso a victory when he scored a win here in Phoenix.
It's another race in the chase. The green flags.
Chase race number 9. If you remember back to the spring race, we dominated the event. Could we do the same here? Pace car is off. Field is in the hands of Jeff Burton. Green flag in the Valley of the Sun.
This should be trucks. Good truck race.
Yeah, but I almost spun out right there. I almost spun out coming down the backstretch just by hitting that curb coming out in turn 4. We already have half a second gap on Jimmy Johnson. Coming out of turn 2 down the backstretch, Travis Quapple is the fastest man on the racetrack right now. Coming down through turns 3 and 4. We complete the second lap. It's only 16 laps around a mile-long track.
Do the dog leg.
Coming down the dog leg here. You can't cut the dog leg at the old Phoenix place, unlike the old Phoenix, unlike the new Phoenix, where you can come down and basically make your lap times a little shorter, almost like a shortcut in a Mario Kart track, it seems like. You can just cut the track, and there's no dirt. It's basically extra passing lanes you can run on. As we've led 4 laps, and hey look, GoDaddy Marketing is the fastest car on the racetrack.
Yeah, Patrick.
Yep. And already we are 3 seconds ahead of Jimmy Johnson. You know what? While we're at it, let's not die. Hey look, my car is blessed. I have the Jesus car. Look, it kind of looks like you look at all the glow when you come down the front stretch. Coming down the back stretch here, we barely see Jimmy Johnson coming into our mirror. You see he's kind of closing in up in the 3 and 4. We come out of the trial down the front stretch. Look. 11 laps to go here today at Phoenix as we make our way down the backstretch again. So far, just like the spring race, it's caution free. No caution has ever happened in this race. Nothing happened at last week at Texas right till the very end. Hopefully it won't be that way today. And hopefully we won't see a late restart too. What I kind of don't like about this game sometimes is it lays the tracks out so weird. Like Martinsville has the weird banked corners, which in real life it's flatter than a paperclip. And Phoenix too is just weird. It's banked pretty much all the way around, except till you get to the front stretch when it just flattens out. You know, I mean it's pretty weird. Halfway point of today's race. Coming out of turns 1 and 2, up along the trial in the dog leg.
Fastest?
Yep, this guy, Mark Martin. Fun fact, in real life, he is the oldest driver on record to score a win in the Valley of the Sun. And in this game, yep, this game he actually won the spring race in this game just by straight up dominating. It looks like he's going to do the same thing here. I literally have no idea how many wins I have, but pretty close to about 14, I'd say. So 7 laps to go today at Phoenix. Down to the bottom of the track, keeping the car on the bottom. Going up to the dog leg. Jimmy Johnson's actually kind of closing up a little bit, but he won't be much of a threat. At this rate. Because if he passes us anywhere other than the start-finish line, lead changes do not count unless they are at the start-finish line. So far, I have literally led all 11 laps run so far.
I hope he doesn't jinx it.
Don't worry, I'm not Martin Truex Jr. I don't choke every race. So keep the car down on the bottom. A little over 2.5 seconds separates me and Jimmy Johnson. Coming to 5 laps to go right now. Coming out of turn 22. You know what? For old time's sakes, let's go on in the cockpit. In 2010, this race became known as a really crazy fuel mileage race in which Denny Hamlin had to pit late, and of course he threw a tantrum afterwards, like Denny Hamlin usually does. And Carl Edwards finally won a race for the first time since 2008 that year, and he also closed out 2010 with a win at Homestead too. 4 laps of racing left at Phoenix. Never mind, 3 when we get to the line. And how about this? Jimmy Johnson closed up. Half a second lead separates me and Jimmy Johnson as we go through the corners. But going down the backstretch, we seem to pull away from him. 3 laps of racing left. Here we go, through turns 3 and 4 again. 2 to go. No cautions have slowed this blistering race down.
Can you say the white flag is out?
Yeah, hold on. We're both going to say it. Sorry guys, just texting my mom right now. I seriously hate when I get interrupted when I'm making a video. Here we go. 2 laps to go. Down into turn 3. We don't have this race in the bag yet. Coming out of turn 4. Into the start-finish line. White flag.
Okay.
One more time around Phoenix. You can see the gap between me and Jimmy Johnson. And you can kind of feel it too. I am pulling away. Make our way through turns 3 and 4. Go nuts. Remember, I'll show you how I do it. Come to the checkered flag. Mark Martin completes the season sweep at Phoenix. Remember, what I do is I just kick the car right and just hold the brakes. Just hold it, just to generate some smoke. Here.
Why do you want to generate?
Oh, great. There's really not enough room, so go nuts.
Like that?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Mark Martin enjoying his, I have no idea how many wins I have. I'm just keep tracking. I haven't kept track of how many wins I've gotten, but anyways, it feels good to win. His one today at Phoenix. It's going to be a Hendrick, it looks to be a teammate battle for the championship next week at Homestead.
At Miami?
Yep. Homestead Miami Speedway. Look at Mark Martin completing the dominating season sweep, leading both races from flag to flag, which is something very few drivers have done in Phoenix since NASCAR began racing there back in 1988. Well, at least till 2011 when Kyle Busch led all 300 laps of the Xfinity race. Back then. Look at Mark Martin.
You're a NASCAR team now.
Yep.
Well, you were already NASCAR champion.
Yeah,
So.
duh. So, the top 10 seems actually legit. So, I win today's Kobalt Tools 500. Jimmy Johnson finishes second. Denny Hamlin finishes third. Kyle Busch finishes fourth. Kevin Harvick finishes fifth. Jeff Burton sixth. Juan Pablo Montoya seventh. Casey Kane eighth. David Rudiman ninth. And Jeff Gordon wins out the top 10. Now let's see what the championship looks like. Jeff Burton is kind of a long shot to win the championship next week in Miami. So it looks like it could be either a 2-horse race or a 3-horse race next week in Homestead. Anybody from Kevin Harvick on down is mathematically ineligible for the championship. Still in the 30s. She's still 36. She's never gonna have a shot to get in the chase. If she does, I will eat a cigarette. So far, it's the Chevy Bowtie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And 3 of them get a fight for the championship next week in Miami. Anyways, let's go. Joey Logano's car number in the 2010 Cup Series 20.
You didn't say it. What is it?
White flag, blue flag, yellow stripe. Yeah,
What's that?
Dodge.
Dodge. Seriously.
Yes, Dodge used to be in NASCAR. So we are come down to this: the final race of the NASCAR The Game 2011 Let's Play. We've had several close moments, from 2 people fighting for the win at California, to me almost wrecking at Daytona on the last lap, to getting dumped by Kyle Busch at Michigan, to sweeping both Charlotte and Phoenix races. It all comes down to this: 1 race, 3 drivers. We will see you next Friday at Homestead Miami Speedway.
I thought it was Daytona next.
No,